Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that sounds almost impossible at first. Can math actually prove the existence of God? I know, math is usually the last thing people think about when they hear the word faith. You probably think about prayers, churches, ancient scriptures, not algebra or calculus. But what if I told you that math, yes, that same subject that you either loved or hated in school, might hold clues pointing us toward the existence of a divine creator? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might never look at numbers and equations the same way again. Mathematics, the universal language. Let's start from the basics. Mathematics is often called the universal language. No matter where you are in the universe, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Pi is always approximately 3.14159. The Fibonacci sequence appears everywhere, from the spirals of galaxies to the patterns of pine cones. Why is that? Why does math work so perfectly to describe reality? The legendary physicist Eugene Wigner called this the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in the natural sciences. It's almost as if math was built into the fabric of the universe before we even showed up to discover it. Think about it. We didn't invent math. We discovered it. The laws of gravity, the behavior of electrons, the spread of light, all of it obeys mathematical laws that we uncover, not create. This brings up a big question. Where did these mathematical truths come from? Fine-tuning of the universe and constants. Now, let's talk about the fine-tuning of the universe. Scientists have discovered that the fundamental constants of physics, things like the gravitational constant, the cosmological constant, the strength of the strong nuclear force, are set at values so precise that even the tiniest deviation would make life impossible. Take the cosmological constant, for example. If it were just slightly different, by even 1 part in 10 to the power of 120, the universe would have either expanded too quickly for galaxies to form or collapsed back in on itself almost immediately. How precise is that? Let's try to imagine. It's like throwing a dart from space and hitting a tiny target on Earth. Smaller than an atom. Some scientists say this is just luck or that maybe there are infinite universes, the multiverse theory. But others see this fine-tuning as evidence of intention, a cosmic engineer, if you will. And what is the tool of that engineer? Math. The argument from beauty and order. Math isn't just useful, it's beautiful. Mathematicians often talk about the elegance of certain proofs or equations. Euler's identity, E caret, I pi, plus 1 equals 0, is often called the most beautiful equation in mathematics because it connects the 5 most important constants in one simple expression. This sense of beauty and harmony isn't necessary for survival or reproduction. Yet it keeps showing up in nature and in our minds. Why? If the universe were purely chaotic or random, we wouldn't expect this kind of internal symmetry or elegance. Yet we find it everywhere, in snowflakes, in the structure of DNA, in the formation of galaxies. To many thinkers, this points to a mind behind the universe, a mind that appreciates and designs with beauty and order in mind. Gödel's ontological proof and mathematical logic. We can't talk about math and God without mentioning Kurt Gödel. Gödel was one of the greatest logicians of the 20th century. He extended an argument originally put forward by Anselm of Canterbury, formalizing it into a mathematical proof called the ontological proof for God's existence. In simplified terms, it uses modal logic, a type of mathematical logic dealing with possibility and necessity, to argue that if it's possible that a maximally great being exists, then such a being necessarily exists. While the proof is highly abstract and not universally accepted even among mathematicians and philosophers, it shows that even logic and mathematics can be used to construct arguments for God. The mystery of infinity and transcendence. Let's talk about infinity. Infinity is not just a big number. It's a concept that transcends all numbers. In calculus, we use it all the time, approaching limits, describing endless series, or thinking about the universe's size. But infinity raises deep metaphysical questions. Where did this concept come from? How can finite humans even conceive of the infinite? Some argue that our ability to grasp infinity, however imperfectly, hints at something beyond ourselves. It's as if we have an inbuilt intuition for the transcendent, for something that cannot be fully measured or contained. And if God is understood as infinite and eternal, Perhaps this echo of infinity in our minds is a reflection of the divine spark within us. Common objections and counterpoints. Of course, many scientists and philosophers would object. They might say, math works because we designed it to fit reality. But remember, we didn't design gravity or quantum mechanics, we discovered them and described them using math. Others might argue that all these patterns are simply products of natural selection or random chance. Yet randomness tends to produce disorder, not beautiful mathematical order and fine-tuning. Then there's the multiverse hypothesis. Maybe there are countless universes, and we just happen to live in one that allows life. But this too is not provable and requires its own kind of faith. Personal reflection. Why math points me to God? Let me get personal for a moment. When I look at the mathematical structures underlying reality, I see fingerprints of a mind greater than any human mind. It's not that math proves God in the sense of a strict scientific proof. Rather, it opens a window through which we can glimpse something beyond. When I see the elegance of equations, the mystery of primes, the precision of constants, it doesn't feel accidental. It feels intentional. For me, math doesn't destroy faith, it strengthens it. So, does math prove God? Not in the same way we can prove a theorem in geometry. But it offers profound clues that suggest there is more to reality than meets the eye. Maybe we're not just living in a cold, indifferent universe. Maybe we're part of a grand design, written in the language of math. I invite you to think deeper, explore more, and keep asking questions, because sometimes, the deepest truths are hidden in the most unexpected places, like a math equation.